What do you think they're doing with that money? Do you think they're shopping at Dollar Tree? I don't think so. Service everyone, Byron Barbie here, and today we are talking about this Franck situation because ironically, we need to teach some people to mind their business. So 5 days ago, Franck posted on his Instagram a video of him at this Turkish restaurant. It's owned by the internet celebrity Salt Bae, and in this restaurant he gets this gold-covered steak and he throws the salt on it. Salt Bae does the same. They take a couple of pictures. The end. However, it didn't end there because under the video, a lot of his followers decided to write both nice and harsh comments. Now, on the positive side, people were saying,
"Wow, that's amazing. Wow, that's so rare. Wow, that's so unique. Thank you for sharing. I wish I was having that meal. Oh my gosh, that's so cool."
And on the negative side, it was more so of,
"That meal is so expensive. Why would you pay so much money? There are people who are less fortunate than you, who can't afford something to eat, who don't have homes, and blah, blah, blah. You should donate that money to charity. Your family should be ashamed of themselves for flaunting your money around like this."
That really was the #1 problem, I believe, that set Ribery off. But before we get to that, let's actually talk about the facts of the situation. A lot of reports were saying that the steak cost £1,200 or a little over $1,300. But in actuality, that steak cost $340. I know, that is still very expensive. However, it's not as expensive as people assumed in the beginning, and so I feel like that should take a little bit of the slack off the situation, but I guess not. The other thing is that CNBC reported that Ribery was invited to the restaurant. If that's the case, then he probably didn't even pay for the bill at all, so he probably didn't spend the money, so there's no real reason for people to be upset. Now, restaurants like these, when they're very famous, of course they want celebrities to show up, they want celebrities to, put the restaurant and their meals on their social media so that other people can see, and then the restaurant gets publicity and more people want to show up. Duh. That's very obvious. Let's take a look at some of the other people who have been to this restaurant. If not the same day, then the day before. Robert Lewandowski was there. I mean, come on. He didn't have the same gold-covered steak, so I guess it doesn't have that wow and shock factor, but he didn't get the same reaction of, "Oh my goodness, that restaurant is so expensive. Why are you paying so much money?" Why aren't you mad at him? Not that you should be, but why aren't you? Why are you mad at Ribery? That I do not understand. 2 days after that, FIFA president Gianni Infantino was there. Another football star worth mentioning, Leo Messi, was at the same restaurant 2 months prior, but I don't see anyone in his comments telling him that it was way too much money that he spent on that restaurant. Hello. Besides that, you get your typical music artists, actors and actresses, and other football stars who go to this restaurant. It's a normal thing. Celebrities eat food. Celebrities spend more money on food and other things just because they have more money than you. When we talk about these football players, we're like, so-and-so is worth $1 million or $30 million or $75 million or $100 million. Hello, what do you think they're doing with that money? Do you think they're shopping at Dollar Tree? I don't think so. And in the Twitter rant that Ribery went on to respond to all of these hateful comments he was saying, what was true is that when he does all of his charitable efforts, no one actually notices that or says many things about it. Or maybe a lot of people do, but there's not as much hate in it. So it's like, if you're not hating on him when he's spending money in a charity, why are you hating on him when he's spending money on something for himself and for his family? Now, the real problem with his rant, and the reason why he got fined, is because he decided to use explicitives and say,
"To all my haters, you were made from a broken condom, and F you, and F your mother, and F your grandmother, and you're just a pebble in my sock, and I owe you nothing."
That last part is a little bit hypocritical because it's like, duh, you owe us nothing, so why are you even giving us this rant? And to some people, I know they're going to say, well, he gets this hate all the time, and this is probably the straw that broke the camel's back. Let's take a little bit of a rewind into Ribery's past. #1, he got fined before because he slapped a reporter in the face for saying something that he did not like. Also, Ribery has been in some scandals that I don't even want to repeat on this channel. So right now, I just think that this is a heated moment for him because of a couple of reasons. #1, AP News reported that his wife is pregnant. If she's pregnant, this is their 5th child. I'm happy for them. Congratulations, Ribery and your wife. I actually met them last year. They're very nice people. But that's besides the point. The point is, if she's pregnant, that puts a lot of stress on the family, them especially. And so to hear comments about your wife and your family at this very precious time, it is very nerve-wracking, it's very stressful, and of course you're gonna get upset about things people say because you're just more sensitive at the moment. The other thing is, this happened at a time when it was still technically the Christmas season, and so of course you're more giving, you're on vacation, it's a couple of days before training starts, so you wanna have a nice meal with people, you wanna share with your family and friends something that they either haven't been exposed to or probably wouldn't experience if it weren't for you. We could also say that maybe he's a little too overzealous in this situation because he has built a little bit of an ego. So he's scored 5 goals in his last 6 matches. And after the last match before the winter break, he posted on Instagram a photo of himself, and the caption was something along the lines of proving something to all my haters. So as you can see, he's getting a little cocky there. He wants to throw this in all the critics' faces, saying, wow, I'm still great, I can still do whatever it is I set my mind to, so take that, happy holidays. So as I said before, Ribery got fined for the rant. The actual amount that he was fined was not disclosed, but we can probably assume that it's more than $1,300 that he allegedly paid for that meal. Bayern had reported that the reason why they fined him was because he is a role model and what he said does not represent the team, or it should not represent him as a person, knowing that he has so many fans and so many followers on social media. Let's talk about those followers. He has almost 4 million followers on Instagram, and he has over 200,000 followers on Twitter. Now, what does that mean? Well, I grew up with the saying, if you point one finger, 3 point back at you. And so in this case, if he's pointing fingers at these haters on his Instagram, maybe he's pointing them at, about 1 million people, but there are 3 million people who are saying, hey, what are you doing? That is not cool. Moral of the story, number 1 to the fans, stop counting other people's coins. You don't really have a say on how these people spend their money, and you really shouldn't go insulting their families just because they choose to spend their money however it is that they want. Number 2, this is to Ribery. Don't be so upset about it. The way that I think of things is really all of these people are jealous because they're not in your shoes. Best believe if I had 40 million or however $1 million, I would be spending it at that restaurant, if not other places, and buying things that I really don't need. And I say jealousy is just hate and love at the same time. And these haters just love you so much that they can't keep your name out their mouth. That's all for now. Like, comment, and subscribe to this video and share with a friend because Mia-san family. Service everyone, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.